Good morning. So this morning's tutorial is going to be how to size those images that we did in the earlier video of your paintings so that you can submit these to juried art shows. Every juried art show has specific guidelines. It's important that you read and follow those. They have specific layouts for naming your documents, naming the size in pixels and the size of the actual file that you can send and submit. So do follow those guidelines. I have one here. I'm going to shrink myself down here, and I'm going to go down to the corner over here. Oops. Just shrink myself, not make myself disappear. Okay, so this is a juried show that I have pulled off the internet. It's a past juried show. It was open to the public, so this was posted online for everybody to see, so I'm not breaking any rules. This tells you what they're looking for. This particular group wants an image that is no larger than 5 megabytes. They want the actual image size must be smaller than 5,000 by 5,000 pixels. So that's 5,000 on the longest side, okay? Your resolution is 72 dpi, which is standard on-screen resolution. And down here it will tell you that you are only to show the artwork. You're not to show the frame, the mat, your cat's tail, your husband's fingers holding the painting, just strictly the painting. And we did that in an earlier video to show you how to crop that out. So I'm not going to go over that again. Do not watermark your image for this one, not with any juried show. This is strictly the image, no watermark, so that they can see everything about the photo. Watermarks can be very distracting. You need them on social media so your work is not lifted, but for juried shows and your website, you do not want watermarks. Okay, so then they're asking you, giving you instructions on how to label your work. You want it labeled with your initials, first and last, the artwork title, the medium, the size, and the price. So I'm going to shrink this photo down, and we're going to go ahead and do that in Photoshop. I am opening my folder where my images are. I have already chosen an image that I want to submit to this juried show. I'm going to use the one that I resized from the previous video that I showed you how to save your high resolution and your low resolution images. So I have opened the folder with the high resolution images, and I'm going to use that same image. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to right click it. I'm going to open with my Photoshop Elements editor, and that's going to open this image. Now down here in the corner where my mouse is, it shows you the size of the image. It's 219 megabytes. Okay, if I open that up in the Photoshop, it will show you 219 megabytes. That's the document size. Okay, that's way too big. I can close that. Way too big. So we're going to go into Image, Resize, and Image Size. Now, that juried show did specify 72 dpi. So here's our document size up here. So we're going to change the 200 dpi to 72. Don't click OK, because that's going to close the screen. We want to keep the screen open so we can see what's going on. Okay, we are now down to 28 megabytes. Still too big. Our pixel dimensions have gotten smaller. We're down to 3456 on the longest edge. Remember, they said nothing larger than 5,000 pixels on the longest edge. So our pixels are good, but our document size is still too big. It's still too big to email. So we're going to go down, and let's see. We've got constrained proportions ticked here, so we're not changing the size of the image. We're just going to go down. We're at 19 megabytes now, still too big. 35, 15, still too big. 30, still too big, but getting better. 25, 7.72, still too big. Let's try 20. 20 brings us down to 4.94 megabytes, which sounds good. We're at only 1,400 pixels on the longest edge. That's because we took a very high resolution image. So now we're going to click OK. And you're going to see your image shrink. Now this is where we go into renaming the image. We're going to save as, whoops, I opened the wrong thing. I don't want to save as a document or for the web. We're going to save as that file where we saved our photos, where we decided we were going to save them so that you can find them afterwards to enter them. So you can see here's the title of the painting, here's the title of the image, and the JPEG. So this is where we get into renaming the image according to their specifications. So let's open that window again and see what they wanted. They wanted your first initials, first and last initials, the artwork title, medium, size, and price. Okay, so there's the artwork title, so I can just jump in front of that, do my initials, and an underscore. Underscore seems to be a good thing. And I can go past that because that's the title of the painting. Underscore again. What did I say now it was? Where are we now? Artwork title, medium, size, and price. So we need medium, size, and price. So the medium is oil on panel. And underscore again. The size is 40 by 48. And underscore again, and the price is $3,500. So we've now saved it with the name that they want, the image name that they are asking for. Again, follow your guidelines for your juried show because they're all different. I'm going to click Save. Okay, now another window comes open. Okay, and this tells you the JPEG options. It's at the maximum file size of 12, but look at. Now our image size is only 1.7 megabytes. That's smaller than we can have. So let's cancel this. Let's go back into Edit and undo file size. Okay, so we're going to redo this again now until we get to the correct file size that we want. So we're going to go into image size, starting all over again here, 72 dpi. Now, where were we at before? We were at 20, I think, so, and we were at 1.7. So let's try 30 and see if that gets us the right size we want. Because there is some downgrading between when you save this. Even at the maximum file size, there's always some downgrading. So we're going to go into File, Save As, open that file again, where your juried show was. Again, there's the title, so we have to rename this again, SD, where there's a will, oil on panel. I don't know if the on panel part matters, but I put it in. 40 by 48 and $3,500. So again, it's titled as they asked. We're going to hit Save. And again, this screen comes open. Now we're at 3.3 megabytes. So we actually still have a little bit of wiggle room. We can actually make this a little bit bigger. I'm going to hit OK. And I'll tell you why I'm going to hit OK. I'm still going to go back here and undo this because we still have some wiggle room. Edit, undo image size. We're right back at the beginning again. We're going to go into resize. Image size now. We're at 72 again because that's what they're asking for. We're not closing this window. Do you remember where we were before? We were at, I think, 30 inches, and I think it came to 3.3. So let's try 40 inches, okay? And let's see what happens here. Okay. Now, again, when I open Save As, there's my title already, so I don't have to rename this. I can just click Save, and it will say, do you want to replace it? Yes. That saves me typing all that stuff out again. Okay. Here we are, 5.2. Oh, we are so close, but it's still too big. So let's cancel that again. Back in and undo the image size. We're right back where we were again. Image, resize, image size, down to 72. Where were we before? We got down to, I can't even remember now. Was it 40? And it was still a little bit too big. So let's try 38 on the longest side. Again, we're going to go into here, File, Save As. We can leave the name because the name of the image is good. We can click Save. Do we want to replace it? Yes. And we are at 4.8, which is an acceptable file size to enter for this juried show. We can hit OK. And there we are. We now have our image in our folder all ready to go in this juried show. If you want to double check your file size, you can just hover over it and it will tell you that it is 4.81 megabytes. Now, it takes a little bit of time doing this, but after a while you get used to it. And it improves things. You get more savvy at figuring out what size you need. But that is how you resize for a specific file size and rename your images for a specific entry. Again, follow all the guidelines for the juried show that you are entering, and you'll get it right. And good luck. Let's hope you get in. Then don't forget to document that you've gotten into that juried show, because it should go on your CV. Bye.